everyone, Tony Winston here, Jazz Piano College. Had a request for the song Mona Lisa. Now, if you're looking for the newer pop song, this is the old song by Livingston and Evans, and of course it was sung by Nat Cole, made it very famous. I listened to it, got a lot of strings and stuff like that. Could not really find a chart for free, so I found this one that like cost $5 or something, but I just blew up the little image. So if you print it out, your eyes are not failing. It's just a little bit blurry, but it's pretty readable. So there you go. So I'm going to cover the chords, and the thing about this song is it made me realize something I've overlooked in my, vocabulary of jazz ideas for soloing. I do these enclosures a lot. I'm taking the E flat major chord, and I'm just surrounding each note with, right, and then this note I surround it like that, and this note, all right, and sometimes it's just like that. So either way. But one thing I realized is I don't use that one that comes down a lot. This is a very popular riff for jazzers. For some reason, I just never seem to use that. And I don't know why that descending riff has never really crept into my vocabulary. And I will talk about it a little bit more, and also how you can shift it rhythmically to give you some, variations on the line. Let's look at the song first, though. E flat 6. Now right here, you could go to B flat 7th, but it also would make sense to go to maybe to C 7th. I don't know, I think I like the B flat better. And see, there's that riff coming down. Centered around an F minor. And I hear it more often on a major scale, but here it's working pretty nicely. Right here, it says F minor 7th. These chords are kind of like for a jazz trio or something to play this song. The symphony version, or the version with all strings, they just stay on B flat there. And there's really some complicated stuff going on with the orchestral arrangement, but let's just, approach this like a nice jazz tune. So for F minor 7th, I'm trying to think of the Berkeley formula. Oh, it'd be 1, 5, 7, 3, 7, adjusting the top there. And it's kind of a weird sounding chord, especially that low, but it works. I'd leave the 5th out though. So what could you do to reharmonize? Just 1, 2, 3, 2, like that. And that would be a suspended chord. All right, got a dominant chord there, so I preceded it with its relative to B flat minor. Here I thought maybe if we went like that. somebody told me the other day how I could take these PDFs and just, alter them. I think I have to use my Apple computer or something to do this, but and just write these reharms in. But here's what you need to do. Print the chart out, get your pencil or your paper, and then when you see these reharms come up on the screen there, just jot them in, okay? I can't do all the work for you. And then we change this to F minor 7, or F half diminished, so F minor 7 flat 5. I'll put it up here. How would we voice this? 1 5 7 3 5. Yeah, that's the Berklee College of Music. Now it's perfectly fine as A flat minor 7th. In fact, that gives you more motion from this to the D flat, right? Because when I do F sharp minor 7 flat 5, it's like the same chord, right? D flat 7th with a 9. That's a minor 7 flat 5 sitting there on the top. So, and I really like this. All right, it's like an augmented chord there, but not really, not if I keep the 5 in. It has that, they use that in Star Wars, to create that kind of otherworldly sound. So, it's kind of nice there. Where was I? Nice F minor 11th. And listen, doesn't this closed voicing sound good? I mean, there's millions of ways to play it. You could do that, the Kenny Barron voicing, with all fifths. But, I heard it's a jazz musician I respect greatly, and he can play circles around me, but he says jazz musicians don't like closed voicings, and maybe I'm just the exception to the rule. I don't know. I like it there. Oops. And once again, a 2-5. Here it says diminished, and that's beautiful for sure. How would I voice that? Trying to, spread the... All right, now that's the 4 notes, but this is too big of a distance in here, so I got to put something in there. I don't want to root, so I'll put that. You could always try a whole tone extension. Right, that's a chord tone, so that's a whole tone extension. Let's just leave it like this. But you know what I like better? Half diminished. A minor 7 flat 5, and then a quick D7, then to G minor. So it's a 2-5-1 going into G minor. There's a nice closed voicing again. Now, a lot of times when you get to these 3, 6, 2, 5, 1s. These are really great areas to put the tritone substitution in as little passing chords. So, are you warm? All right, so then put D flat to C, and then F sharp, and then F, B7. B flat 7th, and then E, right? So it's always sort of like a half step above the chord that you're going to. So G minor, then to C, and what you have to do is kind of anticipate if the melody note will support that extra chord. Like here on B, it kind of does, but sometimes it will and sometimes it won't. Like here, we're going, and we get a nice sharp 9 chord there on E7. But if the melody had been F, then I get a dissonance that's usually a little bit too harsh. It's okay, but it's you know, for most people, it's not going to be very good. And another thing you could do, and Keith Jarrett does this all the time, is just turn these things, especially the dominant chords, into suspended chords. And really all that is you're taking the F minor and just changing the bass note and then catching up with the right hand. All right. You know, I took a little solo at the beginning, and like I said, this song reminded me that, hey, that's missing from my vocabulary. So if you practice it like the way you hear it most often, 1, 2, 3, 4. But you could go 1, 2, 3, 4. The same way with going up, you can go da 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 dee da da da. Or just putting the beat in a different spot will give you, you know, a different sound for sure. What keys does this work in, this riff? It's easy in that key, easy in that key, and E flat. And let's see, fingering. So 5, 4, 5. So usually putting the 5 on the white key. That seems good for me, but it also depends on the distance that you're going to jump next. So 4 could also work. That one would be 5 because you got this big stretch here. The other ones could be 4. A flat. D flat. You know, doesn't seem to be a fingering problem in any particular key. They all seem to work out pretty good. And, you know, pick the chromatic way that you like it the best. What about B? B's always a problem, isn't it? Mona Lisa, Mona Lisa, Mona Lisa, Mona Lisa, eat your pizza. All right, let's see what else I've got coming up. Got a request for Anthropology. I'm going to do Love Hurts by the Everly Brothers, so stick around for that. You know, some of my best videos recently have been on kind of these old songs that really aren't quite jazz songs, but there's some interesting things going on in that great Everly Brothers song that I'm going to cover. Bass line for My Romance. I'll do that in the key of C. And that's it, folks. Take care.